Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to thank for joining us, and I would like to open the session, Environmental Impacts and Water Quality. We have 5 presentations, as I have right now in front of me, and I would like to remind our distinguished presenters that you have 15 minutes for presentations and 5 minutes for questions and answers. Now, I'm giving my floor to Konstantinos Christonodoulou. I think I said wrongly. Thank you.
Thank you, Sibel. Welcome and on my behalf to this session on environmental impacts and water quality. It's a pleasure to have all the distinguished participants and speakers here, professors from various universities. I would only say a couple of words that could be useful in the future. For a start, the title of this session, Environmental Impacts and Water Quality, shows how important are the various impacts on the water quality of broader areas, and that these impacts are not limited to countries, but they have a trans-territorial or transnational or a broader effect. The result of that is that all the partners and the participants have to understand that synergies are very important in tackling various environmental problems, and that territorial cooperation, which is actually the title of this conference, the impact on territorial cooperation, is very crucial in solving problems. Closing, I would like to bring to the attention of all the participants that there are other European programs, EU-funded programs, such as LIFE, as you know, or Interreg Europe, which is going to launch the first call in June, this June, and all the available associated papers for the call and annexes are already listed on the website of Interreg Europe. That the participants have to consider the possibility of making synergies among different European programs so they could exploit wider cooperation and have the chance to access EU funds on a broader scale. Thank you very much.
Now I would like to invite Nikolai BERLINSKY for presenting wastewater influence on the condition of the Black Sea shelf.
My name is Nikolai BERLINSKY. I am from Ukraine, from Odessa. Odessa is one of the biggest port in the Black Sea. Thank you. Odessa is the so-called marine gate to Ukraine. in Odessa agglomeration have 3 ports in this region, but now in this region we have a rather difficult environmental problems. First of all, it links with so-called anthropogenic eutrophication in the northwestern part area of the Black Sea. You know, in this around the Black Sea northwestern part, we have 3 big rivers: Danube, Dnieper, and Dniester. The catchment area of these biggest rivers cover more than half of Central and Eastern Europe. So all kind of pollutions, a lot of contaminations, and addition more than necessary for good status, nutrients were coming from these rivers to the Black Sea waters, and it provoked the very large scale anthropogenic eutrophication and near bottom hypoxia and benthos bottom organism mortality. This phenomena was marked maybe 40 years ago, and nowadays I was very hoped that this phenomena started finish. No, because the quality of nutrients from the rivers decreasing, but we have a lot of nutrients inside, into the bottom sediments, and we have the same situation like 20 years ago. In addition to river input to the marine ecosystem, we have so-called artificial input from our local treatment plants. Odessa itself,
Speak on this one. Speak on this.
Oh, okay, thank you. The main factors of creation and existence of Odessa agglomerations is seaport, the core international trade, cultural, education, and the recreation center of Odessa city. In our region, we have a unique and highly valuable set of recreation resources. Best of all, I would like to say that northwestern part shelf is unique because there is a highest productivity, one of the best of the world. The first place is Caspian Sea, north part of Caspian. The second is Azov Sea, and the third is Black Sea Shelf. Very productive area with a lot of very tasty fishes, and including sturgeons, and a lot of marine, very useful organisms. The most city of Ukraine, I would like to back to the treatments, artificial influence, are using the following scheme of sewage treatment. The first step is the mechanical cleaning of removed insoluble impurities. Then the wastewater put in the aeration serves for the biochemical purification, where the removal of organic substances and nutrients, mainly phosphorus and nitrogen compounds. Qualitative and quantitative characteristic of the discharges water is main factor the impact of to the environment situation in marine area. So you can see the location of biological treatment plants. In Odessa we have in Odessa agglomeration we have 10 treatment plants, and 2 of them I would like to show you. This is the main, so-called northern and southern. The discharge from the treatment plant northern runs into the Black Sea only in the winter period. The mid of the October at the end to the end of April through the discharge channel at the distance of 300 meters from the shore at the depths of 3.6 meters. And in the summer period, water discharge runs into the Liman. Liman is a natural reservoir isolated from the sea. Discharge from the treatment plant southern runs out through the release by the scattering into the Black Sea at a distance 2.1 kilometers from the coast, at the depth 18.2 meters. Wastewater discharge of the port and the city Ilyichovsk is carried out of the deep scattering release at the distance 2.2 kilometers from the coast at the depth of 17 meters. Sewage treatment plants of Odessa Ammonium plant. Ammonium is a rather big plant in Odessa region. There is a carrying out the wastewater into the Black Sea through the deep scattering release at the distance 2.3 kilometers from the shoreline to the depth of 16 meters. In the city of Belgorod-Dnistrovsk, this is into Liman of the Dniester River, wastewater discharge is carried out at a distance of 8 meters from the water's edge in the bottom of Dniester estuary. So this is characteristic of land-based sources of sewage. We have 10 sources, main sources in our region. So it was established pollution of coastal waters is a result of municipal water drainage and industrial waste water input, as well as the waste water coming from the sewage treatment plants. Thus, the share of sewage treatment plants is 4.73% of the total amount of wastewater entering into the marine environment for the urban area. Quantitative analysis of the emission of nutrients from the sources shown that the treatment plants of Odessa are the major source of nutrients in water body in Odessa region, not in the whole shelf, because it's very difficult to divide where is the a natural source like water from the rivers and where is the direct influence from the treatment plants. For understanding where is the direct input from the artificial source and natural sources, we have to use not only so comprehensive monitoring. We have to use mathematical simulation, and then we have to compare the results for understanding the processes. The main sources, this pollution in Odessa region, this is sewage treatment plant. In the biochemical method for removing phosphorus accumulating in activated sludge, the process new fresh activated sludge is required. This process is not consistent with the condition of the nitrification denitrification. So existing methods of wastewater purification from nutrients using in Odessa agglomeration are ineffective. The state of beach area of Odessa agglomerations is under the dangerous exogenous geological processes as landslides, avalanches, abrasion, erosion, etc. At present, there is no disinfection of wastewater discharge in the northwestern part of the Black Sea, and it means that the city beaches in the summertime should be closed. This factor contributes to the content of nutrients and provokes eutrophication in the coastal zone area. I told before that during the last 40 years, anthropogenic eutrophication and near-bottom hypoxia are the major environmental problem. So you can see in this figure the dynamics of near-bottom hypoxia in the years of maximum development of this phenomenon. At present time, the trophic level of marine water slightly decreased. The main reason of this nutrient input of the river runoff to the Black Sea reduced. For 40 years, accumulation of nutrients in the bottom sediments had been marked, and in the summer period of summertime, output of the nutrients from the pore water provokes again the development of hypoxia and large-scale benthos mortality. But I don't know the real situation and the status of water body at present, because we have no real data. It is very important according to the European directive. I think so. Near-bottom hypoxia development in northwestern part of the Black Sea shelf. Currently, there is not comprehensive monitoring, you can see, and it is necessary to organize it again. So, I would like to show the common situation in a period. Of course, this is average composition, and this figure show us the concentration of phosphates, nitrates, and the border of so-called water blooming in this period, very active period of water blooming and eutrophication. You can see the area of eutrophication covers more than biggest part of the Black Sea shelf and spreading to the Bulgaria and Romania zones, also up to Bosphorus. This is characteristics of nutrients coming to the Black Sea from the rivers. It is very important to know. And in a conclusion, I would like to say disinfection of wastewater discharge into northwestern part of the Black Sea should be carried out and applied modern technology on the treatment plants of Odessa industrial and urban agglomeration for nutrient discharge reducing. It is necessary to provide comprehensive monitoring of the northwestern shelf of the Black Sea for estimation of real state or status of the shallow water marine ecosystem. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you, Mr. Nikolai BERLINSKY, for your exciting presentation, because I am right now in shock. Do you have any questions?